Hi everyone, welcome to Good Bad Deli. I'm Chris King, and today I'll be sharing my deep thoughts on Made in America 2014. Now, Made in America 2014 is a sponsored event that's actually put on by Budweiser in a partnership with Jay-Z. It's now been about, I believe this is the second or third year now that it's been going on, but it's the first time that it's actually a bi-coastal simultaneous festival in this large of an event. So Jay-Z with Budweiser has partnered with this. It's actually been started in Philadelphia, pretty much where America was born and everything. So it really makes sense and alludes to that kind of imagery. If you look at pictures and stuff, a lot of it, people are bearing, the American flag and stuff, which is really cool to see people come together and kind of, just kind of portray that symbolism while just kind of, honoring and just really having fun and enjoying this event, which I believe is really focused on the music. It's the music and food and Budweiser beer, and you throw an American flag, and that's pretty much what you get. It's just this really big, just kind of pot of these mixed cultures and what makes America. And I guess like the symbolism behind them is what is holding them together is music, right? So we chose this one specifically, this festival specifically, because it kind of just it has to do much more with what we as a company and what we want to portray in media, which one of our big temples, which as you guys know is music. We have games, film, and music. So this is the one that we really believe highlights that. So you have big festivals like Coachella, and of course you have big festivals like Outlands. But the difference is, Outlands is actually a real one that I've had my eye on for a while, and so especially with this past year, which had headliners like Kanye West and The Killer. So I was really eager. I wanted to go out to that, but it's a little bit much more of a kind of out of the way. It's a really big trip to go all the way over there, and it's much more of a planned event. So the difference between that, and then you have obviously the one, arguably one of the biggest festivals in America, today, besides other ones like Lollapalooza and stuff. Coachella. Coachella is in the middle of a desert pretty much, and it's a arts and music festival. So the reason why we chose Made in America is because, as I said, it's one that really focuses and highlights the acts and the musicians and the artists that are going to be put up there. The stages are nothing extravagant, although there is about like 4 or 5 of them on each given day. But the entire festival itself, they didn't have to really decorate it or anything like that. It's in the middle of the LA Grand Park or in Philadelphia in the park over there. But it's just something that really just highlights and puts a platform for these artists that are really well known, some of them lesser known, which is also a really cool thing to see. And just pretty much it's like you're going to a concert, right? So as far as like the ticket prices go and stuff, you're going to be expecting to pay over $100 depending on if you want to go 1 day or 2 days, whatnot. So Made America really just spoke to us because of the fact that, as I said, it highlights the music, it highlights the artists, and it's not really about the whole festival experience. I'll do a deep thoughts probably somewhat later in the year, maybe next year, about what my deep thoughts are on, or someone on Good Bad Deli will have deep thoughts on what festivals are today and are they necessary? Like, what do they really do for the culture and for the music as a whole? But Made in America is just something that's just kind of really grabbing this really massive concept of festivals and just kind of simplifying it in a sense that you're going for the music, you're going for the venue. It's not really about the whole festival experience. So if that's a turnoff for you, if you want to do the road trip, if you want to do the different kind of outfits and get-ups or whatnot, and you want to have to go camping or you want to have to go rent out hotel rooms and whatnot, all that kind of stuff. If that's what you're looking for, Made America might not be for you. If you're looking for what festivals really started out with being just a place where people gather to enjoy the highlights of these artists and musicians, that's where Made America really does shine. So I had an awesome time. Sunday was a really, really cool day to go there and just kind of be with everyone who's, some fans and some people who are being exposed to the first time with these artists and stuff. So now it comes to the point where where can this kind of festival be improved upon? What didn't I like about the festival? So let's get to that. For one, it is in Los Angeles, so in California, Southern California. We're pretty known for our sunny weather. Me personally, I love California. I love the sun and everything, but going to a festival on Sunday, it was about 90 degrees, about the average, 90 degrees. At some points it kind of peaked, some points it dropped off a little bit, but for the most part of the day, well into, I believe 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, it was holding strong to 90-degree weather. So bear in mind that it is a really, really, we're still in summer. Summer's kind of wrapping up, but it was really hot. It was really hot, and if you're not dressed appropriately, it could be a little bit, overwhelming at certain points because I know I had a plan with as far as all the artists goes, and I'll get to the artists in just a minute. But I had a plan with what artists I wanted to see, what stages I wanted to go. So I also wanted to be up in the front, for at least this event, this year to because there are certain artists that I'll get to that really spoke to me that I really wanted to go see and I wanted to see up close and personal. So I was right there. I was pretty much right in the front. Maybe about like 3 or 4 rows of people who were in front of me. Other than that, I was right there in the front, and I could see the artists very clearly. I could see what they're wearing, the patterns on the shirts, all that kind of stuff. There were really big screens that that had big cameras, focused on them, so you could really see them even from far away, which is really cool. But for the most part, I got right up there. But keeping this in mind, it was a massive, massive crowd. I believe attendance was somewhere between 30 and 50,000 people. Now, just kind of divide that between 4 or 5 stages, and maybe a few people kind of walking around in the certain excess parts of the entire festival as a whole, and that you're kind of looking at hundreds and hundreds of people per stage. So being right in the front, kind of smack dab in the middle, it was hot. It was really, really hot. I won't lie. It was a little bit distracting at certain points because, again, if you're not dressed appropriately or you don't have enough water with you, it can be a little bit overwhelming. I endured. It was pretty cool, at that point. But my point being that near the end of the festival, I was exhausted. I was actually hurting. I had experience with some concerts before and everything like that, but a little bit different experience going to a festival like that. I won't lie, but still a really awesome time. Now let's get to the artists. Okay, so the artists. I stayed primarily at the Maryland stage. It's right in front of City Hall. So I was actually, being someone who loves, I love architecture, I love politics, I love all these kind of stuff. So haven't really seen City Hall so up close and personal before. I was kind of excited just for the backdrop. So backdrop alone was pretty beautiful to look at, for the entire kind of point in time. So being at the Maryland stage, you can look up the artists' times and everything. You can see what I'm talking about. My plan was, it started at 12 o'clock, so Good Bad Deli and the other friends and family who we brought along, we got there, approximately sometime, after 2 o'clock, had to go find parking and stuff. Again, if you guys are looking forward to this maybe in the future for other years, be prepared, get there early, find parking, whatnot, get inside, do whatever you have to do. If you have to buy merchandise or food or water, do that, get that out of the way before you go see the artist you want. We got there right about the time when Cypress Hill started. I wanted to go see Cypress Hill. I wanted to go be up in the crowd and stuff. It calls back to the 90s and call back to the really early 80s and stuff with that old kind of gangster West Coast rap and stuff. So I've always been a big fan of Cypress Hill. I wanted to go see him up close. Didn't get the chance to do that because there's so many people and I had to do other stuff. Like I had to go kind of walk around and look at some other things. And I wanted to really get a grasp of the entire festival as a whole. I knew I was going to stay at the Maryland stage. So I wanted to report back to you guys, saw everything that I checked out. By Cypress Hill, at that point around 3 o'clock, a lot of people were just kind of scattered around who weren't watching him. So I kind of was a little confused as to that. It turns out, the point of Mid-America is to, as along with many other festivals, is kind of you make your own journey. You make your own festival, your own concert, so to speak. You can go from one artist to the other, and obviously it gets pretty exhausting in the heat and exhausting walking around, But again, it's just a really awesome time. So Cypress Hill played out. They did obviously some of their favorite, most memorable songs, Dr. Green Thumb. I think I missed Insane in the Memory, but I didn't think I got to catch that and stuff. But they did pretty much most of their old tracks and stuff, which is really cool to see. They sounded really amazing. And then right after that was the band I really wanted to go see, Weezer. I've always been a massive fan of Weezer, particularly of their first, first 4 albums, you could say. Those have always been my highlights for Weezer and stuff. So they've always been on track with what I believe, they're a really massive band, especially in California. They're from Santa Monica. So they sounded amazing. It just kind of proves that, rock is, and obviously in a state of decline, no matter what critic or musician you ask or as a fan, they'll tell you right off the bat, rock is in a very steady decline and stuff. Alternative rock seems to be kind of picking up again, but rock as a whole, it's always really great to see some, rock artists, kind of come out and just put on such a good show. And obviously they have their album dropping, I believe, this month. Everything Will Be Alright. So they played one track from that. They played Back to the Shack. I loved it. So it's a really good song. But they played, our favorites. Island in the Sun. I was hoping for Buddy Holly. I think they closed it with Buddy Holly. And I got there right up close in front. Rivers, absolutely phenomenal singer. Such a talented group of musicians who make up Weezer and stuff. So hopefully, I'm hoping that they continue to put out music for a very long time. Right after Weezer, still kind of inching closer and closer to the stage, I got to see Juanes. Juanes was probably my second, definitely my second most anticipated artist from Made in America. So Juanes, if you guys don't know him, definitely go check out his music. He sings primarily in Spanish, of course. He is such a talented musician, and especially if you're not from that culture and stuff, check out some of these artists like Juanes. He's Spanish rock. I mean, most of you guys maybe have heard of Maná, but Juanes is someone else you want to check out. He is probably my favorite Spanish musician, probably in general, but definitely when it comes to kind of like the rock scene. Juanes has been around for a very long time. He started from a very young age, and he's progressively gotten better, especially when you get to like his middle content. That's where most of his biggest songs are. He is someone who, like, when he puts on an album, he's always one of the front runners to win the Latin Grammys. If you ever seen Latin Grammys, he pretty much is taking 2-3 awards every year and stuff. He knows exactly what he's doing as a fellow musician, and especially someone who plays guitar and has done these kind of rock music before. I can tell you the guy is legit. He looks amazing when he comes out, and he is so entertaining. He was firing up the crowd. You had people who were, when I was standing there, a lot of people were kind of just like, I think some Spanish guy is going on. But they ended up cheering, and they ended up dancing, they ended up kind of clapping along. If you didn't know lyrics and stuff, I was definitely singing. I know most of the songs. So, again, amazing musician. Try to find maybe a video of him performing live and stuff. Check out his music. As he said when he was up there, and his English and everything was just, it doesn't really matter what language you speak. We're here for the music, and music is what connects us. You don't need a translator for music. You can like a song that is in Italian. You can like a song that's in Korean. You can like a song in Spanish, of course. Especially in such a country like America, where we're obviously a melting pot. You really don't need translation. You don't need to understand what they're saying in order to understand the message that they're trying to convey. So definitely check out someone like Juanes, really amazing, talented guy. After that was John Mayer for about like an hour and odd minutes. John Mayer, again, most of the people who were around me were, I'm giving the benefit of the doubt that they're maybe a few years younger. They looked about my age, maybe some of them older. But even some of them weren't really aware of who John Mayer was, who is a pretty prominent figure when it comes to rock and soft rock and kind of a bluesgrass, blues. He's a mixture of everything because he is a musician at his core, especially when it comes to the guitar, of course. He's someone who nods his hat, tips his hat off to bigger artists like, B.B. King, and then you take other artists who, in modern day kind of eras and stuff, maybe like bands like Led Zeppelin and like classic, and you take, all these kind of things and mix them all together, and you get someone like John Mayer, who, honestly, in my opinion, I'm not the biggest fan of his music. I don't have all his albums downloaded or anything, but I definitely know how to appreciate and understand good music, and this is someone who can shred. Let me just put that out there right there. I haven't been this blown away from guitarists in a very long time, especially, seeing someone live like that. John Mayer did what he had to do. Unfortunately, putting someone like him, who is so well known, right before Kanye, who, John Mayer even said himself, like, he hasn't been on stage in years, so this is pretty cool to see him come back like that. But a lot of people were there for Kanye West, Of course, there's going to be a lot of people who see this and stuff who are going to, be pretty much back and forth, this is the kind of guy who you either love or you hate, right? So what did that have to do with this? Well, I was standing there in like the pretty much front middle of the crowd, and a lot of people were saying, kind of next to me and stuff, they're just like, John Mayer, like, finish up, wrap it up, let's move on, we have to see Kanye and stuff. It was a very long waiting time, and if you can imagine, I was there standing pretty much since the end of Cypress Hill all the way till the end of Kanye West. So I was there for hours standing. Everyone was tired, everyone was exhausted, people were giving up and just like, we have to sit down, we have to go get water, we have to go to the bathroom and whatnot. As I said before, prepare ahead of time. It's a little bit tricky thing, especially if you're waiting for one specific artist. I didn't go to Made in America for one artist. I went to Made in America because I wanted to get the entire experience of music, and because there's so many different artists I wanted to see. From the Dylan stage, I wanted to see Rise Against, I wanted to see Steve Aoki, of course. There's some other artists scattered around, but those were pretty much the other ones from the other stages I wanted to see that I didn't get a chance to because I was stuck in the Maryland stage. But even at the Maryland stage, I planned ahead of time. I wanted to see Cypress. I wanted to see Weezer. I wanted to see Juanes. I wanted to see John Mayer. He took a little bit too long. And I want to see Kanye. That's 5 artists out of about like 15. So if you're going to go for one specific artist, I don't know if Made America is for you or many festivals are for you. If you're someone who appreciates music and you're open to listening to so much more music, you can have a really good time. So if you want to be open, definitely, check something out like Made America. Now, the main event, the main act, the closer, Kanye West. It's something that, somebody who is so inspiring to me as someone who is a massive, massive fan of hip hop and rap since, rap and rock since, rap and hip hop that started since, Grandmaster Flash and Kaz and Africa Bambaataa, Tribe Called Quest, I can go on and on, Black Star, the list goes on and on. Of course, the biggest rappers probably of our generation, Biggie and Tupac, NWA, sorry, I have to keep going on, and pay my respects. Kanye West is such a prolific figure in hip-hop today and from the 90s. And if you don't understand that, or if you don't recognize that, you don't know hip-hop. Sorry, but you just don't know hip-hop. Believe me, I'm someone who, like I said, I'm a musician, and I've been in music for a very long time. I'm someone who, I like Spanish music, I like rock music, I love pretty much every genre. Literally, if there's any genre you throw at me, I have some artists that I like in that genre. Especially, going back from classical, I'm classically trained, piano stuff, I'm modernly trained in guitar and these kind of things. So I grew up in a background who, I've listened to a lot of Spanish and rock music. And then I had to be, because this is from my generation, be exposed to 90s hip hop that started to come up and stuff. You had, like I said, figures like from NWA to, older ones like Run DMC and Africa Bambaataa, and it just from there, those kind of guys catching my attention and seeing how these kind of, this evolution of these hip hop artists and stuff, and now to, past Kanye West. He's someone who, since I heard College Dropout, I was stuck, and I will admit, he is one of, in my opinion, hip hop, he is one of my favorite artists, top 3, top 5 if you want to say. I won't say where he stands. I know where he stands, but I will say he's top 3, top 5, whatever you want to group it as. So I went to the Yeezus tour last year, right? So I was extremely excited to come see him again. I wanted to see him again because you never know when an artist like that is going to drop off. Like John Mayer, who is just going to drop off and fade away for a while and then have to do a comeback and stuff. But Kanye West is on top of his game. People who say that he's not don't understand what's going on in the music industry today. So love him or hate him, he's someone that you have to pay respects to. John Mayer himself said it. He's like, I'm here to see Kanye as well. We're almost done. I want to see what he's going to do. When he came out, and the funny thing is I know exactly how his mind thinks creatively, so I already knew that he was going to come out and that the video screens on the top left and right weren't going to be just himself. They were actually he made them all negative, like negative film, so you couldn't really see color wise and stuff, but it just still looked incredible. Like it looks very much kind of like it was like a really long black skinhead video. You could if you watch that video, you know what I'm talking about. So as far like the negative and stuff, it just absolutely amazing. I'm so taken back and thinking about like how incredible it was, especially to be up close in front. So if you're someone who can't understand some of the hype and some of the negativity around Kanye West, you have to just if you don't fall in love with his music, watch one of his live performances. Doesn't matter which one. You can go back from late registration days, or you can go all the way to the Glow in the Dark tour, or you can go to Yeezus and right now. Just watch any one of his performances and tell me that you don't understand what he's doing. Tell me you don't understand how much of a prolific figure he is in music today. I've done, even some reports. I've done reports on many musician stuff, and I have done one specifically on Kanye West. And one thing that I've always known about him, and awards don't say everything, but if you don't understand why I'm saying he's such a great artist, just look at how many Grammys he has, and I'll just leave it at that. Just look at the amount of Grammys he has. He's in the list of the top 5, or top 6, whatever it is. Just take that and walk away from it, because that is something that not every human can achieve in their lifetime. So he's still going very strong, and I really, really hope he will continue making music for pretty much for his entire life. Pretty big accomplishment. Now, what does it all have to do with the performance itself? Like I said before, we had a team from Goodbye Deadly and some close friends and families who also came along with us, bought their own tickets and whatnot. I have someone, really close to me, a close friend to me, can say, who he loves electronic music. He loves, he loves rock and rap and hip hop, all that kind of stuff. But right now in this kind of day and age, he's much more focused on electronic and, I don't know, house, dubstep, all these kind of things, all these kind of, this whole EDM movement that has been occurring these past, 5, 6 years. He's someone who is really, really involved in that scene, really, really loves that scene, and who he went to go see Borgore, Rehab, and all this kind of stuff. He wanted to go see Steve Aoki, so you can imagine his festival experience was a little bit different from mine. But he came at the very end to see Kanye West, and when we were in the car, he told me specifically, quote, I now understand why you're, in love with Kanye West's music and his creativity, because he, quote, I now understand that DJs don't do anything. Again, and this is someone who, he's not bashing the scene himself because he loves the scene. This is his scene. He's going to audio engineering specific for this scene. He hopes that one day maybe he can probably do music of his own. And again, to his credit, he's seen Kanye West now live and close. If you guys haven't seen him, you won't understand. It's an entirely different experience. It's a lot of people compare it to Jay-Z and stuff. In my opinion, it surpasses what Jay-Z has done on a live performance scale. Of course, he's, again, classic, godfather of hip hop, in this kind of day and age and stuff. And I believe I was really excited, going in. I was really excited and telling everyone I think Jay-Z's gonna come out with Kanye West. When Kanye West started, I was like, I hope he doesn't come on and spoil this. That's how, I guess, if you could take my word and run with it, that's how incredible his experience was. I did record the entire thing. I have a deep thoughts again for festivals later on, saying about with the whole recording and stuff and where I stand on that. Not a big fan of it, but I wanted to do this so people, so I can kind of just kind of back up my evidence and just kind of say hopefully I'll have it posted up or something so you guys can check out some of that footage. Again, it's a little bit rough. It's just from a phone, but it's just amazing experience. I'm definitely really excited that I went to Made America. What I want to do with this and Good Bad Deadly is I believe Made America is going to be our festival. I think it's a festival that we're going to try and do every single year. Hopefully the 2-day passes and stuff. Like, I wanted to go Saturday so I could see Kendrick and Imagine Dragons and stuff, but just didn't do it for this year. I wanted to check out Sunday and see what this was all about and then make my decision. And I'm happy to report that I was really really content with it. So everything went really well. So in the future, I'm hoping to see a little bit more artists and stuff. If you want to shout down below, you can ask me what I think about this artist's performance and stuff, and I'll give you my thoughts. And you can ask me what I think will be happening in the next couple of years, who I want to see line up the festival. I'll give you my thoughts on that. I have a few already that I know I want to see. But let me know. Let me know what you guys think about festivals in general. Let me know what kind of festivals you're excited for in the future. What festivals you went to this year. This was probably one about the last festivals we'll see for this on this kind of stage for this year at least. And let me know what you guys think about, where this whole music industry is going. Let me know your favorite artists with any of these genres and stuff. Like I said, hopefully we'll figure out a way to kind of put up a little bit more content regarding all these artists and stuff in the future. So thank you guys for watching this video. Share it with your friends. Subscribe. Let us know what you guys are thinking about what Good Bad Deadly is doing today. And let us know what you guys want to see in the future.